a summary of the Route 66 trip. So bear with me here. I'm going to read a few numbers for the whole trip. Total number of miles, 2,439.7. The climb was 77,507.1 feet. Number of days I was on the road. I rode 44 days. Had 2 days off for a total of 46 days. My longest ride day was 7 hours, 33 minutes, 28 seconds, according to the Garmin. My longest climb day was 4,829 feet. That was the same day. It was kind of early on in the ride, coming from Los Angeles. My best average speed was 17.9 miles an hour for the day, and my slowest average speed was 7.95 miles an hour for the day. Temperature-wise, weather-wise, constantly ran into a wind out of the southeast. I thought it was going to be out of the southwest, but out of the southeast. Only a few hot days, a couple in California, and then when I got to Chicago, it turned hot. But in the middle, not much. I woke up several times and having to put on several layers. In Texas, the days I was in Texas, 4 or 5 days, the hottest it got was 67 degrees and rain in several days. So weather was, the wind is an issue on that ride. I had 5 flat tires, and almost all of them were related to I-40 along in New Mexico and Arizona, where you're riding the berm and you're catching a lot of debris. Almost every single one of them was related there. And then once I got out of that, I didn't have any again. Had got one chain, got it changed at a bike shop in Albuquerque. The two things that happened on this bike ride that have never happened to me before, at that bike shop in Albuquerque, the bike I have, there's a through axle that holds the wheels on, and it has an Allen wrench hole to it, and the guy put it on and said, "Oh, I do all these all the time." Okay, and basically stripped the inside of the Allen wrench thing, so I couldn't get it off. Got to a gas station and someone took a pair of pliers and was able to get it off for me, and then I bought a pair of pliers to go with that for the day. So that never happened where I got to a bike shop and they just didn't do a very good job on it. The other thing is I stopped in Elwood, Illinois, south of Chicago, as I was heading in, and camped in the city park like I've done many times, and cop pulls up, locks the bathroom, looks at me, waves, drives off, comes back an hour and a half later and says, "You can't camp here," when he saw my camp and the bike. But okay, so he was very nice and very generous. So I had to pack up late in the evening, about 7:30, and move to a nature preserve a couple miles away. So that worked out okay. So all in all, bike ride went well. The difference between the Transamerica ride and Route 66. Route 66 was very touristy. That's the design of it. People going into California to, see the sights. And it wasn't set up really well for tents. A lot of RV parks, but they were not set up for tents. So spent a lot more time in hotel. It was flatter because you followed the freeways more, which was Route 66, and a lot of Route 66 is now interstate. So not bad, but you dealt a lot more with cars. Transamerica, obviously much longer. It would take a left-hand turn and go over whatever was in front of it. So huge mountains, bigger climbs, but roads were much more rural in the country, and ended up finding a lot more cafes and ice cream shops and stuff like that on the Trans Am. The trip for Route 66, very much truck stops and places like that. So very different in that design. Highly recommend both. They're both very cool. Both very exciting adventures. Both extremely different. Trans Am took me 76 days. This took me 46 days. So a month difference in time, but a very, very cool adventure both times. I got very lucky with the weather each time. Physically felt fine, and the bike was awesome. So you have to prepare for it. You know, I guess you could just start out and go, but recommend practicing a little bit. But so Route 66 was wrapped up and done for 2022, and who knows what will happen next.